Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the AM News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Now the news in full. In a major step towards strengthening parliamentary governance across the continent, legislative aides from several African countries gathered in Abuja for the inaugural African Legislative Aides Conference. ALAC, an initiative aimed at boosting the quality and efficiency of legislative support system in African democracy. Our political correspondent, Ubong Usoro, reports.
The conference, hosted by the National Assembly Legislative Aides Forum, NASLA, brought together parliamentary support professionals for a comprehensive training program focused on improving legislative operations. This year's theme, Empowering Legislative Aides as Strategic Drivers of Parliamentary Effectiveness in African Nations, underscored the increasing recognition of aides as critical players in modern lawmaking. Opening the session, the chairman of NASLAP, Emeka Nwala, highlighted the importance of equipping aides with stronger skills in policy research, legislative drafting, oversight function, political communication, areas he said are central to effective lawmaking.
Importantly, this will give our parliamentary leaders renewed optimism that as their aides, we are assisting them to bring desired change in our democratic process.
Also addressing the participants, the president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mazi Afamusiwe, stressed the need for improved welfare and professional support for aides, noting that legislative institutions rely heavily on their expertise to strengthen democracy across Africa.
Therefore, this conference, which focuses on empowering legislative aides as strategic drivers of parliamentary effectiveness in African nations, is a welcome conversation.
Delivering the keynote address, Speaker of the Transitional National Legislative Assembly of South Sudan, Right Honorable Jema Kuma, emphasized that legislative aides are not mere political appointees, but foundational pillars of legislative excellence and institutional continuity.
For harmonizing legislation, improving institutional performance, and strengthening cooperation. This benchmarking initiative have taken our MPs and the staff to parliaments across Africa and beyond.
The maiden ALAC conference is expected to enhance collaboration among parliamentary support staff and foster stronger legislative processes across African nations. Ubong Usoro for Global Television.
Meanwhile, in another development from Guinea-Bissau, former President Goodluck Jonathan has briefed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Abuja and called for the immediate announcement of the disputed presidential election results. Ubong Usoro reports.
Jonathan, who led the election observer mission in Guinea-Bissau under the auspices of the West African Elders Forum, said the voting, counting, and tallying process had largely been conducted before the military intervention disrupted the process. It described the post-election intervention not as a classic palace coup, but rather a ceremonial coup, suggesting that the head of state himself declared the takeover under suspicious circumstances.
When you get back home, you have to brief your president, because the ECOWAS leaders will meet. I will not be there. So you'll be able to get first-hand information.
According to Jonathan, officials from the regional and continental bodies, including the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and the African Union, AU, were present in all regions during the election process, therefore have access to authentic results, which he urged bodies to formally announce the winner without delay.
The key thing is that election was concluded. Tallying of the results was almost concluded. In fact, the results are known, and the key thing is that the winner of that election must be announced.
Jonathan also demanded the immediate release of the detained opposition candidates, arguing he committed no offense and had not declared himself the winner, which under Guinea-Bissau's law could have been viewed as a treasonable offense. After returning to Nigeria, Jonathan met with President Tinubu to give a first-hand account, a standard procedure for former heads of state involved in regional assignments. He urged Tinubu to carry the message to ECOWAS leaders ahead of their upcoming summit. Ubong Osoro for Global Television News.
President Bola Tinubu says the security and welfare of every Nigerian remain the sacred priority of his government. He stated this in Lokoja at the 10th Memorial Anniversary celebration of the former governor of Abubakar Audu. Tinubu, who was represented Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, said the administration had taken various steps to deliver on the priorities. The Abuja chapter of the Association of Resident Doctors has suspended its 30-day-old indefinite strike, following a directive from the national body and renewed assurance that its demand will be implemented. The suspension was announced by the Association of Resident Doctors FCTA President Dr. George Ebong, who cautioned that the doctors would resume their industrial action if the Federal Capital Territory Administration fails to fulfill its commitment within the next 4 weeks, as promised by the Minister of Health, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate. In many urban cities across the country, roadside parking has become growing concern. What seems like a simple act, parking a vehicle by the roadside, now contributes to traffic congestion, road accidents, and delay that affect commuters daily. Our correspondent, Sadatu Garba, gives us details.
From Lagos to Abuja to other major cities, the story is the same. Urban roads meant to carry fast-moving traffic are now shrinking as a result of vehicles parked indiscriminately by the roadside. Cars, buses, trucks, and even commercial vehicles take over portions of major roads and bridges, forcing other road users to squeeze into narrow lanes. The result is longer travel times, increased road rage, and in some cases, avoidable accidents.
On the issue of illegal parking in Abuja, I think we can do better. Everybody should be responsible, But, other things that the government can do is, maybe putting some measures in place. Do you understand? So that, security men can, tell people what to do.
Experts say poor urban planning, inadequate parking infrastructure, and weak enforcement of existing traffic laws are the major causes. In many cities, shopping plazas, markets, and even organizations depend entirely on roadside parking, with no designated parking lots for customers and staff.
Government should try and eradicate it in one way or the other. Let them try. One problem with Nigeria is we don't know how to maintain. We don't have maintenance culture, because they will do it today, the next day another government will come and tourniquet it.
Beyond inconvenience, roadside parking has serious economic costs. Studies show that traffic congestion leads to loss of productivity, increased fuel consumption, and environmental pollution. Safety is also a major concern. Parked vehicles obstruct visibility, making it difficult for motorists to see oncoming traffic or pedestrians crossing the bridge. Some cities have begun towing illegal parked vehicles, imposing fines and creating designated parking zones, but many believe more needs to be done, including public awareness campaigns and collaboration between governments, transport unions, and private developers.
The only thing you can do is that to mobilize people that will direct them, or to create a park, understand? To have a park, so that if there is enough car park, there will be no illegal parking. But because there's no space, there's no particular place, like all this place, open place now, you can make it open park, so that you come to the market, you drive your car, you park that, it's safe there. Even if you pay money, it's better.
With rapid population growth and increase in car ownership in urban areas, the pressure on already overstretched roads continues to mount until authorities provide adequate parking solutions and enforce laws consistently. Roadside parking will remain a major obstacle to smooth urban mobility. Sadatu Garba, reporting for Global Television.
In the past few years, content creation has grown from a simple hobby into a powerful income source for millions of young Nigerians. From TikTok challenges to Instagram Reels, YouTube vlogs, and sponsored ads, many young creators are now earning more on traditional jobs. Hannah Itunu tells us more.
With unemployment rising and economic hardship affecting families, young Nigerians are turning their creativity into cash. What started as fun videos has now become a serious profession and for many a lifeline. Powered by affordable smartphones and growing social media use, content creation has exploded nationwide. From comedy skits to hair tutorials, travel vlogs, food reviews, and lifestyle tips, today's youth are turning everyday life into digital gold.
Content creation, especially most of these apps nowadays like TikTok, YouTube, even Snapchat now, I've heard they pay a lot of their content creators through different means. One of the major difficulties I feel is engagement, especially when starting.
Monetization now comes in different forms. Brand partnerships, sponsored posts, affiliate marketing, YouTube ads, live stream, and even digital products. For some creators, one viral video can change everything. Beyond fame, content creation has created new jobs: editors, photographers, managers, makeup artists, and social media assistants. Entire communities are now built around digital creativity.
You can monetize your TikTok content and get more money. Then we have gifting also. That is where the audience give you stars and all of that.
But the journey isn't perfect. Poor electricity, high data costs, and saturated competition make it hard for beginners to grow. Some also face cyberbullying and pressure to constantly stay relevant. Yet, despite these challenges, more young Nigerians are embracing content creation as a modern career, one driven by talent, consistency, and opportunity.
The difficulties is, I think it's more from the apps, like the Facebook, the TikTok. I think they have high standards that are making them go all out, just all out.
In a country where traditional jobs are scarce, creativity has become currency. For these young creators, social media is not just entertainment, it's empowerment. Lilisomi Hannah reporting for Global TV.
The Kano State government has dismissed widespread rumors suggesting an impending security crisis in the state, insisting that Kano remains calm, stable, and fully secured. A statement issued by the Director General, Media and Publicity, Sunusi Dawakintofa, says the government noted that no credible intelligence indicates any imminent threat to public peace. The clarification followed a State of Security Council meeting attended by all service chiefs, where Governor Abba Yusuf received a detailed briefing on current security operations across the state. You're watching the live broadcast of the AM News. When AM News returns, we'll bring you the rest of the stories. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now let's take you to the world of business, where Nigeria's gross domestic product grew by 3.98% year-on in real terms in the third quarter of 2025, edging above the 3.86% recorded in the same quarter of 2024. Fresh data released by the National Bureau of Statistics indicates that in its third quarter GDP report, the Bureau highlighted broad-based improvements across key sectors. And on the foreign scene, online age verification looks set to be a growing technology market as Australia seeks to ban under-16s from using social media, with other countries closely watching how the new law will play out. At the headquarters of the Yoti, a London-based company which develops age verification technology, the startup's chief executive, Robin Tom, says age verification is certainly a much bigger sector than it was 5 years ago. Uyi Agbomofuegbe has the rest of the story.
As governments crack down on online platforms, from social networks to adult websites, business is booming for one sector offering artificial intelligence-driven age checks based on selfies. The technology promises speed and accuracy in implementing laws like Australia's social media ban for users under 16 years, built to be in force from December 10. Toombs breaks down the technology.
It's looking at lots of patterns within the face. Those patterns are translated into numbers, and then the numbers effectively become patterns which it can use mathematics to basically say, okay, if you see these patterns in the face, it's much more likely to be a 40-year-old than a 20-year-old. And it just gets better and better at doing that because you've given it the ground truth of so many people's faces.
The technology challenges parents to find a balance between regulatory requirements set by government and ensuring their children do not get unnecessarily exposed by giving away vital details.
It's an area lots of parents worry about. They want their kids to be safe, but they also don't want their kids to be giving lots and lots of details and data away. So that's what we've tried to do.
AI-powered age verification methods have raised questions over potential bias and privacy impacts. Others, however, pointed to biases in the age verification algorithms, which can be less accurate in their estimates when presented with non-white faces. Uyi Agbomofwegbe, reporting for Global TV News.
Israelis gathered outside President Isaac Herzog's residence on Sunday, protesting Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's request for a presidential pardon as he faces ongoing corruption trials. Mukhtar Qasim reports.
Protesters say Netanyahu's move is an attempt to escape accountability in a trial that has dragged on for years. They insist that granting a pardon would undermine the rule of law and deepen mistrust in state institutions. Demonstrators also accuse Netanyahu of using political influence to pressure the presidency.
Our message to Herzog is clear. In Israel, Israel is still a democracy, and in a democracy, every citizen, never mind if he's a small citizen or the prime minister, need to put his time in court, and if he has something to, someone is accusing him of something, he needs to prove that he's innocent, and Netanyahu knows that he is not innocent, and this is now he wants to run from his trial.
President Herzog, you need to protect the people of Israel. You do not need to protect the Prime Minister of Israel. Your job is to protect the Israeli democracy, the legacy, to protect us as a great nation. And if you will demolish law and order, this might be the end of the Israeli democracy.
So we are here to explain Herzog that we are not going to accept that. We know that he is the weakest point in this chain. This is why Netanyahu approaches him. But he has to stand still for us, for our kids, and for the way that history is going to remember him.
The rally has intensified public debate over whether the president should intervene in an unresolved legal process. Herzog is now under growing pressure as he considers the highly contentious request. Mukhtar Qasim, reporting for Global Television News.
Now to the world of sport. Ibrahim Tukur, the newly discovered one-handed badminton player, is continuing to dazzle with stellar performances and making Kebbi proud. He won gold medal at the just concluded West African Para-Badminton Championship Gateway Games in Ogun State 2025. Since his debut after hitting the headlines barely a year ago, Ibrahim, a member of the CST Kebbi TV Badminton Club, Brendan Kebbi, has won many laurels at both local and national levels. Bayern Munich President Uli Hoeneß has reflected on the club's transfer policy during the 2025 summer window, noting that the club made the right decision not to sign Xavi Simons, Jamie Gitten, and Benjamin Sesko. Fabrizio Romano quoted the president as saying, "The club made the right decision, not signing any of the players," referring to young talent Xavi Simons, Jamie Gitten, and Benjamin Sesko. Hoeneß defended the club's caution approach pointing to the potential financial risk of aggressive spending and emphasizing Bayern's commitments to sustainable growth. And that's it on Global TV AM News. But before we go, a quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using at Global TV NG. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Thank you for watching.